Hello, welcome back to my channel. I was going to say for the final video of 2023, but that's a blatant lie. It's actually 2024 as I'm filming this. It's not even close. Like, it's not even like I missed my own deadline. It's just a new year and I was just going to lie to you. Sorry, my bad. Hi, what's up? How are we doing? I'm doing pretty well and I'm excited to tell you guys about all the things that I crocheted and knit in 2023. Per tradition, I've done this the past couple of years on my channel, and it's always very fun to look back and reflect on what we were able to accomplish, the good times that we had. I have everything laid out in front of me in a cute little doc, laid out by month. I like to break it up like that because it's easier for me to keep track of. And yeah, we're just gonna go through all of this. Also, I just figured I'd give this disclaimer. I give it every year, but it doesn't hurt to hear it again, okay? That videos like this are not meant to be braggy or to make any of you feel bad. That's never the goal. That's never ever the goal. I know sometimes seeing stuff on social media can make you feel bad. It makes me feel bad. I feel bad looking at social media most of the time, which is why I try to avoid it. So if I made more than you this year, or you didn't achieve the goals that you wanted, or etc., you can fill in the blanks. So this is not intending for me to be braggy. I'm not saying how much I made to make anyone feel bad for not making enough, and I use that loosely because I don't think there's such thing as that. I think that this is a wonderful craft that all of us have in common, and it's fun whether you make one thing in a year or you make 400. It doesn't really matter. If you found joy in your craft this year, that's all that matters. I know most of y'all know that, but sometimes it doesn't hurt to hear the reminder. I need to give myself the reminder all the time. And with all of that being said, let's get into it. Quickly, I just want to give a big thank you to this week's sponsor, Book of the Month. If you guys have never heard of Book of the Month, allow me to be the one that tells you. Book of the Month is a book subscription service that brings a new book to your doorstep every single month. At the beginning of every month, the curators over at Book of the Month will put together a list of new titles for you to pick from. They're largely consisted of debut or up-and-coming authors, but there are some fan favorites in there as well. It's a really good way to branch out and find new authors that maybe you wouldn't have found otherwise. I know that's been the case for me. Then from that list, you pick one book to be your book of the month, and it comes to your doorstep in the iconic blue Book of the Month box. And if you don't want a physical book, they also have an audiobook option, which is really cool for anyone who prefers that kind of medium. Like, I know people who listen to them as they drive. It's a really cool option. Let me also show you the books that I got this month because I'm very excited about them. They're different than what I normally get. So first of all, I got The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I am very excited about this one. I read the blurb and it sounded so enticing, and one of my goals for this year is to branch out of the kind of romance niche that I've put myself in, and I think this will be a really good one. I also got First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. Once again, blurb sounded really interesting. Wanted to get outside of the books that I normally read, so I'm very excited to read these two, and I can't decide which to pick first. But that's not an issue for right now, that's an issue for later. I also read books so fast that they're both going to be done super fast anyways, so it's fine. Once you read and enjoy your book, you can go onto the app, rate, review, and join in on different challenges with the community, which I think is a really cool feature. So if you want to join in on the fun, you can go to bookofthemonth.com and use the code RESET, and you can get your first book for only $5. Once again, that's bookofthemonth.com and use the code RESET, and you get your first book, a gorgeous hardcover, for $5. Like, how could you go wrong? Once again, thank you to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to everything that I made in 2023. Okay, let's start in January. And by January, I do mean January and February. Because a lot of these things I don't actually know when it was made, but it was definitely made in one of those 2 months. So the first thing that I know I made for certain in January was my first make of the year, was my Isabel cardigan. I ended up writing a pattern for it, and the pattern came out later that year. But I had finished this after like having it as a whip for so long. I'm not exaggerating. My friends Morgan and Savannah had to bully me to finish it. And I'm so happy I did. I absolutely love it. It is gorgeous. It is one of my favorite cardigans. I named it the Isabel cardigan because it looks like the cardigan that Isabel wears from Animal Crossing's New Horizons, and I love that game. I thought it was fitting. I also have a sweater pattern that's called the mom sweater, so once again, just the Animal Crossing theme. So that, like I said, was the first make of the year. I really love that one. It is still one of my favorite makes that I've ever made, ever. So a really strong start to the year. Then this one, I'm really not sure if I made it end of January or February, but I included it in January. We're just going to keep it there. I made a new scarf for myself. It is just a very basic scarf. It is, I think, Wool and Viking Crazy Sexy Wool, like 99% sure. And it's literally just garter stitch. That's all it is. It is one skein. I kind of wish I got two, kind of wish I made it longer, but I'm not mad at the length of it. I think it's really cute. Never took official photos of it because it was just like a quick basic for myself make. Now, these next things are where I get a little confused on if it was January or February. I think it was partially January and probably finished most of them in February, if that makes sense. But I ended up making 5 Oopsie Daisy purses, 5 hats, and 5 scarves. I may have made more hats and scarves than that, but I'm just keeping it at 5 because that was at least my original plan. I had the opportunity to sell some of my stuff in a student-run boutique at my college that I went to, which is really, really cool. We ended up only selling the Oopsie Daisy purses, but I ended up using the hats and the scarves for a market that I did with them a couple months ago as a graduate. So they ended up being in a good home. I'm very excited about that. But the Oopsie Daisy purses sold out very quickly when I sold them at school when I was still a student. That was such a cool, surreal thing. I made those, like I said, in January, February. The timeline was a little bit weird because I started some and then I finished some over the course of the 2 months, basically. Then we move on to March. I made a whopping nothing. Nothing, not a single thing in March. So we're gonna move on to April. April, I made a For the Love of Waffles cardigan for my grandmother. This is one of my lovely friend Jamie's patterns. I made her For the Love of Waffles jumper in 2022. I think that was my last make of that year. I was pattern testing it for her and I love her patterns. I love how that turned out. My grandma loved it. She was like, "You want to make me one as like a cardigan?" And I was like, "Yeah, she has a pattern for it. Why not?" So I did that. And it turned out really cute and I'm very happy with it and my grandma loves it because it keeps her nice and warm. So I made that in April. In May I did another pattern test. I did this one for Andy Knits and I made the Dahlia skirt. I love the way this turned out. I love the way this turned out. It is probably also in my list of favorite things I've ever made. 2023 may have not been a year for quantity, but for me it was a year of quality. I loved this pattern. I loved testing it. It was so well written. I love the look of it. It's just all around like a staple. I'm excited for it to be a little bit warmer again because I made it with cotton so I can wear it like springtime, kind of like I can wear it a little bit in summer because cotton's obviously heavy but it's breathable, especially the stitch with the eyelets. It makes it a little more breathable, so it's, in my opinion, perfect for warmer weather. And I'm just very excited to wear it again. And that's a pattern that I would make a second skirt. It takes a while, and I have so many things that I want to make that I haven't made yet that I probably won't get around to it. If I do, it won't be for like a very long time, but I love that pattern. It was so good. And once again, it's all I made in May. I was graduating. Give me a break. I was literally walking across the stage. I'm yelling at you guys like any of you would be like upset that I only made one thing. Sorry. Got a little defensive there for no reason. In June, I made a tank top for the Boy Genius show that I went to see with my girlfriend at Forest Hills. I made a black tank top with white writing. It says, "Never a God," and then the back is angel wings for the lyrics, "Always an angel, never a God." I was very, very, very proud of myself for this one. I am not very good at following charts. I'm not good at changing colors in my work. If I do change colors, it's like very easy stuff like checkers or striping. At least that's what I find to be easy because that's what I know how to do, so I kind of stick with it. So being able to do this and do it successfully was like a really big deal for me. I was very proud of myself and I think it turned out really, really good. I would wear it again in the right situation. I don't know if I would wear it out and about like on the day-to-day. I don't know, but I thought it was really cool. I was really proud of myself and I was actually smart and planned to start early enough before the concert that I wasn't like killing myself the few days before, which we will get to. This is foreshadowing. This is foreshadowing. And once again, that is only made in June. In July, I made the Lover cardigan. It is the one that I made the video about, finishing my whip. I think it's like being brave and finishing my whip or something like that. And unfortunately, I don't have any pictures in it. The reason I don't have any pictures in this one is because I never posted any pictures because I don't wear it. because I don't like the way it came out, unfortunately. Don't really like it. That is unfortunate. I just tried to freehand a pattern and my sizing was off. Yeah, there's nothing really much to say on that one. I just don't really wear it because I don't really love it. So I'm definitely going to unravel it because the yarn is absolutely stunning. So it needs to be in something else. But unfortunately, this cardigan, it just wasn't my favorite make of mine, and that is okay. In August, I made, and everyone wait, two things. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Finished two things. So I made this granny stitch kind of button up that I absolutely loved. I was so happy with how it turned out. I've been meaning to make a second version so I can write a pattern for it. Obviously now where I live it is cold, so I don't really have a use for one right now, so I haven't been focusing on it. But as it gets warmer, I do want to make another rendition of it so I can write a little pattern for it because I think it is so cute. And then the second thing that I finished was the kaleidoscope cardigan pattern test knit for Jamie Creates, for my friend Jamie. This is one of the patterns that's going to be in her upcoming book, and I was like, I must test this because I just thought it was really cute, and it's like the perfect for me staple. I just toss it on, it's easy, good to go. I'm very big on like a big comfy cozy cardigan. That's exactly what this is. It's button front. I've been wanting to make something very similar to it for a while. It's gorgeous. I love it. I get compliments on it all the time. It's one of my favorites. September, I don't think I made anything. Yeah, I don't think I made anything. So we're going to move on. Okay, so October, I actually made 3 things. I was really on my grind this month. It was good for me. I was very motivated. So me and my girlfriend went to see Muna Genius, i.e. Muna and Boy Genius at Madison Square Garden. So obviously I had to make something, and obviously I decided to do this a week before. And then I didn't actually start until 4 days before the show, naturally. So I did, in fact, make a top in 4 days. Is it very cropped? Yes. Is it very well done? No. Question mark? It's not bad. I'm still planning to take the Muna Genius off the front because I ended up doing like duplicate stitch writing Muna Genius. I'm going to take that out at some point so I can have just a plain black tank top, maybe make it long sleeve. Haven't decided yet. We haven't gotten there. So it's good enough that I'm going to continue to wear it. I could tell it was made in 4 days. It was a wild adventure. It was very funny. I thought it was great. I don't know how I've kind of put myself into this little niche of doing things very last minute. I don't necessarily like that for me. It's very stressful. My anxiety levels are high, but I do love a challenge, which is why I think I like it a lot. So that was fun because it was fun to make content because I could tell people were following along, trying to see if I would finish it. And I love that stuff. I love that kind of interaction. So it definitely kept me motivated and it was very fun to do. Next, I made the checkered beanie pattern by my friend Morgan, except I made it as just like a solid color beanie. I had this beautiful yarn from Arcane Fiberworks that they so graciously sent to me, and I knew I wanted to use it for a beanie, and Morgan's pattern is my favorite. It has very good shaping. I love it. I made my girlfriend a actual checkered beanie following Morgan's pattern, and every time I see it I get jealous. So instead of doing the color changing to do a checkered one, I just got a really pretty yarn and used that instead. I love this one. It's probably my favorite beanie. I don't have a lot of beanies for myself. I think I made maybe 1 or 2, but this is definitely the one that I'm going to get the most use out of. And then lastly, in October, I made the strawberry shortcake sweater. I was strawberry shortcake for Halloween. I didn't have any plans for Halloween, but I wanted to do something fun. I don't know. I was hanging out at home with my family and my hair had been red. You guys know I had red hair for a while. It's not red anymore, but I was like, I love strawberry shortcake. I wear my strawberry shortcake sweater all the time. I loved strawberry shortcake since I was a little girl. So it was time for me to be her, obviously. Just really embrace my truest of forms. So very basic sweater. It turned out very cute. Also fun to make content around that one because once again I was doing it in a time crunch. So it was a fun little challenge. I don't know what possessed me to do 2 challenges like that in the month of October, but I think it just kind of boiled down to my lack of time management, which is awesome and a good trait for me to have. All right, moving on to November. I am back on my one make kind of grind, but that's okay because this was a really good one that I had been working on for a while. I tested the Winona Polo heavyweight version for M Knits. I adore her lightweight version, the standard original Winona Polo. So when I saw she was going to test the heavyweight version, I applied and obviously I tested it. I really like the way mine came out. I haven't worn it a lot just because I haven't had the chance to. I also want to make the sleeves a little bit shorter, so I need to undo a couple of rows, which is going to obviously take some time to do, and then redo the cuffs and such. But once I do that, I think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of it. I like the colors I chose. That was my first time trying Drops yarn. I had never used it before, and I very much liked it. I think I used Drops Nepal, so now I want to try other Drops yarns. It's just so affordable. Even having it shipped from overseas, because you can't get it in the States where I am, even having it shipped from overseas, it's good quality. It's good quality for someone who doesn't want to spend a lot of money all the time, okay? Also, I am finishing the video and I just remembered in November, like I said earlier, I did a market as an alumni at my old school. They were running an event and they invited me to be a part of it. So I was able to sell the hats and the scarves that I had made in January, February. But I remembered that I also made a couple more products. Mainly I made, I think, 3 ear warmers. They were really cute. I used this glittery yarn that I had laying around. People really liked them. Maybe I made 4. I can't remember honestly. But that was also something that I made in November, right at the beginning of the month. And then finally, we made it to December. So I made 2 things this month. Last month. It's 2024. It's January. I made 2 things last month. Okay. I made an Oopsie Daisy purse when I was filming the tutorial for that, which if you haven't seen it, there's a free tutorial on my page now. So when I was filming the tutorial for it, obviously I was making a bag as I was going to show you guys what I was doing. So I made an Oopsie Daisy purse, and then I made a Doctor Who scarf for my brother for his Christmas gift, which was fun. I made a shorter version. I didn't get a full picture of it, but I made a shorter version of it because the original one is like really, really, really long. And yeah, that is everything I made this year. Like I said, I did not make as much as I thought I was gonna make. Okay, normally I make more than this. I feel like in the past I've had very high numbers for how much I've made. So figuring I had a whole 6 months basically of not being in school, I kind of felt bad that I didn't do more. But at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning of the year, I wanted to make less but have better quality things that I'm going to use more, enjoy more, etc. And I do think I accomplished that. Like I said, genuinely a lot of the stuff on this list is things that I grab all the time. They're things that I will actually get use out of. I'm not just making it for the sake of making something like I potentially used to do. I'm making things that are really going to serve me and that I enjoy making and will enjoy having for a very long time. 2023 was also, for me, the year of the whips that were never finished. I had a lot of ideas. I started a lot of things and I did not finish a lot of them. I think that was for a lack of time for at least part of it. I had a lot of ideas when I'm at school. I always have. I have all these ideas. I have all this creativity like pent up that I want to use and just not enough time in the day to use it. So here and there I would start different things and I wouldn't actually commit to finishing a lot of them, which is kind of tough when you want to finish all of them, but then you get kind of overwhelmed with how many things you've started. So it was kind of this tough cycle I was in for a second there, but I think next year my goal is to start less so I can be more intentional and finish a couple things at a time. I don't think I'm ever going to be the type of person that will only have one whip going on, largely because I enjoy both crocheting and knitting, and I want to be able to pick up either when I am in the mood for one more than the other, I guess. But I would like to go through the whips that I have this upcoming year and clear out and unravel the things that I'm not going to finish, actually finish the things that I've wanted to finish, and then moving forward, really be selective with what I want to do or keep going with. Obviously, I'm not going to start something and finish every single one. I might end up having to undo it, but instead of letting it sit in my room and collect dust, maybe I should just undo it. But I seriously had so many whips this year, like an insane amount. But yeah, that brings my grand total to the year of about 33 things. I definitely missed stuff. I always do. Like I said, I didn't start 33 things. I surely started much, much more than that. But I only include things in this video that I finished just because if I included my whips, we would be here forever. We would never leave. So yeah, that was my year. I hope you had a good 2023. I hope you have an even better 2024. Please let me know what your plans are down below, how your 2023 looked, what you want to do for 2024. How many times can I say the years in one go? But yeah, that's everything I made in 2023. Crochet and knit. It was a pretty good year, I have to say, despite me getting caught up on not doing everything I wanted to do. Everything I did do made me really happy and I had a really good time. I'm very excited for 2024. I'm excited to get back into my YouTube grind. I've missed you all genuinely so dearly. So dearly. I miss hanging out with you, doing studio vlogs, crochet and knit with me. It's just fun, cozy, casual content that you have someone to hang out with. That is the goal for this next year. More YouTube, more intentional making, and just more fun doing our crafts. Let me know down below how your 2023 went. What was your favorite make? What you want to do for 2024? I would love to hear all of it. I love chatting with you guys. And with all of that being said, that is all I have for this week's video. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out so much. And make sure to put on the post notification bell if you want to know every single time I post a brand new video. If you're sitting here thinking, wow, I love listening to this girl yabber on and on and on, you can check out my podcast with my friends Morgan and Savannah. It's called The Crochet Authority. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, if you want to see more of me, make sure to follow my social media. Everything is linked down below. And yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me, and thank you for a wonderful 2023. I'm so excited for what this new year is going to bring, and I will see you next time with a brand new video. Bye, everybody.